I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address.
We're not just building muscle, we're building men. In the quiet hours, in the unfiltered moments, in the conversations that happen before the world wakes up. This is The Gloom, where brotherhood forms in the dark so we can lead in the light, where vulnerability is strength and leadership is handed from man to man, one story at a time. Our mission is to empower, exhort, and inspire men to achieve their best selves through stories of reinvigorated male community leadership. We bring you weekly interviews with F3 Omaha packs, ordinary men doing extraordinary things in fitness, fellowship, faith, and leadership, because we believe that every man has a story, and reinvigoration starts when that story is shared. This is the glue in the gloom. Shout out to our sponsors, Exclusively Eye Care, Major Team Mortgage, Liberty Core Real Estate, Avior Wealth Management, and Omaha Laser Dentistry. We appreciate their support. Are you or someone you know in the market to buy a new home? Well, if so, check out Major Team Mortgage. They specialize in home purchase and refinance home loans. Their mission is to purposely empower people to experience their good life through building wealth with real estate. You know, showing up in the gloom is no different than showing up for a conversation around your future of building wealth with real estate. Join the action economy and get in the game with Sasquatch. Text or call John at 402-212-0149 to schedule a time today. Individual NMLS number 1393750. Company NMLS number 2478164. Equal housing lender. Now let's get back to the gloom.
And we're back. We're doing it live. Again, coming to you from the Nomad. If you haven't been here down in downtown Elkhorn, I've got just a great guy with me today. I got my man Barbwire. I remember a lot of great conversations with this guy. I'm excited to get his story out. I think I also remember the thing I'll never forget is like we were at coffee talking about your daughter's fiance proposing and just kind of like going through that. And then some of the early days talking about, I think some of your military experience was also really fascinating because I don't come from that sort of background, but where we like to start off with your story is sort of the like entry into F3. So who EH'd you? What was your first workout like? And then how did you get the name Barbwire?
Yeah, I was actually coming back from our 10-year anniversary from Costa Rica, and I get a phone call in the airport on our way back from, I don't remember if it was McCracken or Flavor Saver.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Flavor Saver.
Yeah, he's not around anymore.
Is it a mustache or a beard?
He had a big beard.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, they call me and they're like, "Hey, we did this thing today that we know you'll like."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And it's called F3, and they kind of, and there's actually Sasquatch that EH them.
Okay.
Because they're both in real estate.
Yeah.
He's a lender. So that's how they came out.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I get back, I think it was a Tuesday, took Wednesday off from vacation, and then I posted at the Maze for the first time. And Blades of Glory was queuing.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, in January that year, I kind of started working out on my own. Again, I took 2 years of being a bum.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I just was like, I have to do something. So I kind of started in January at home.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't really remember the exact workout.
Was it challenging? Do you remember? Or was it kind of?
Yeah, I think it was. There wasn't a lot of running. But it was good. I remember it was good. I had a good time, got a sweat, it was May. It was, so yeah, it was a good workout. I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember when you got in the circle? Well, I guess were those guys there when you posted, or you just?
They were there.
Okay.
They were there.
So
Yes.
They were there.
Yep. They were there. Both of them.
And then tell us about how you got the name Barbwire.
So yeah, you get in the circle, and yeah, I threw out, like, I have girls and I have an older son too. And then like military, I'm from here.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, "Your tattoos," and I was like, yeah, I have tattoos. And they're like, what's your least favorite tattoo? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, maybe this old tribal.
Yeah.
And then someone threw out barbed wire.
Like a barbed wire attack.
Yeah, like a barbed wire. I do not have a barbed wire tattoo, but that's how I got it.
Nice. What's your favorite tattoo?
What's my favorite
If
tattoo?
you could pick one.
Gosh, I don't really know. Maybe this is the newest one. This is
Fishing?
it's for my son.
Okay.
He loves the fish, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the newest one. I like them all.
Are all yours sort of like family or
Meaningful. Most of them for now, but the rest of them will not be. I don't think.
the rest of them? What's the plan there?
Well, so this one's not. I just liked it. I got it
Yeah.
in Mexico, and then my next one actually is going to be this huge traditional black and gray eagle coming up my leg.
Nice.
So, yeah.
For guys that don't have tattoos, what's the draw? Is it the pain or is it?
I've always liked art.
Okay.
I've just always liked art, and yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. They could have named you, what was that? LA Ink or something.
Yeah.
Been a good name.
Yeah, barbed wire is a good one. I don't mind barbed wire. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, that's a pretty good name, right?
Yeah.
So, talk me through like when those guys called you and said, "We know you'll like this." What, like, is that just like you like fitness or what? Why do you?
Yeah, I mean, they knew I started my working out again, and obviously my military background. I guess I don't know. I think it was mostly just that I've been working out hard and
Yeah.
and whatnot on my own, and so they just I don't know, they just knew it'd be something I'd like. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I like people, and yeah, I think that must have been. And I've never really asked them that.
Yeah.
How'd you know I was gonna like it? And they'll probably just be like, we just knew.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, you're still coming out and
Oh, yeah.
and so you must have liked it. What do
Yeah.
you think brought you back for the second workout?
Instantly, it reminded me of the military, like
Yeah.
PT, just like bunch of guys working out.
Oh.
But the main thing that like I think that like instead of thinking like, oh, this is a bunch of dudes like hanging out was Blade's COT.
Oh.
He was going through some stuff, and he got emotional, and I was just like, I was looking around and was like, wow, this is actually more than, just a bunch of guys working out. And I was like, this is cool. Like,
Yeah.
and I just, I like relations with people, and like, it seemed very real.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be the main thing. I just thought it was cool that he was vulnerable and showing his emotions and sharing what he was going through. And I just thought it was really cool.
Oh.
And obviously I like the fitness part of it, but that was the one thing that I remember is like, yeah, this is more than just working out.
Yeah. Yeah. Blades, I've been to quite a few of his workouts over the years, and he's been through a lot, but he's not afraid to share it. So
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
I haven't seen him in a while since he went downtown, but we had a lot of good conversations and coffee and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so I'm curious. So talk to us about your experience in the military. What did you serve in? What was that like?
Yeah, so I left right after high school, the Army, and I was in from 96 to 06.
Okay.
I had a little break in between, but I was still like in the Guard. I was in Minnesota.
Okay.
But then I went back active. So, I mean, basically from 96 to 06, I moved back to Nebraska in May of 06.
What, were you deployed at all during that time?
Yeah, I was in Iraq in November 04 to November 05.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was your experience traumatizing? Do you feel like you have some bad scars from that? Any PTSD or anything? Or
I mean, I'll just say guys that have been there know the emotions we have, and but yeah, it was experience, and yeah,
you're back here now.
Back here in good old Nebraska.
I just, I thought about going into the Army or something. Now looking back, I was like, I look at all these big Marines, and I'm like, oh, it would have been cool to be a Marine.
Anybody can do it. Yeah.
But I think I had never had like the closest thing to F3 for me would have been like a sports team or something. But
Yeah.
when I hear guys talk
Mm,
about the military, it feels like in the military you had not just the PT, but those
yeah.
relationships because you were
Oh yeah, for
likely
sure.
in life or death situations with guys.
Yeah,
Right?
and then when we started that first workout, I knew right away. I was like, some dude was in the military that
Who
started
started it?
this.
Yeah,
Like
with the
in
cadence.
cadence, it
Yeah,
was like, yeah, this is definitely. I had
yeah,
no idea about any of it. I was like, some military dude started this. I know that.
yeah. Well, what I'm curious what it looked like for you. So you mentioned you kind of took you were a lazy bum for a couple of
Mm,
years. So I guess because when you've been pretty fit ever since I've known you. So were
yeah,
you? Imagine you were really fit in the military, and then you got out. And
yeah,
what was the lazy bum phase like for
yeah.
Barbwire?
So I've been active. I mean, I played sports from 5 years old
Yeah,
all the way through. In the military, I played like a lot of sports year round. So yeah, I was always very active, fit. Um, and then like I would go like when I got out, I'd go through these phases.
mhm.
Like I'd work out. Let's say we're going to Mexico.
Oh yeah,
So I'd work out, go to Mexico, say I'm gonna work out when I get back, and I never would.
right.
Then there'd be another trip, and so I was doing that yo-yo thing. Um, and then yeah, so that's 2 years. I don't know, like I didn't do anything
Yeah.
besides drink, and I'm an ex-smoker too. I smoked for 25 years.
Wow.
And so yeah, I just completely, and it was funny, like what got me was there's like a New Year's Eve party or something we're gonna go to, and I was getting some clothes
Hmm.
and I was put something on and I'm like in the dressing room, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Right. Like
Like,
yeah.
and everyone was like, oh, because I'll show you a picture afterwards of before, like when I started, when I knew, like,
Yeah.
because everyone I've showed guys at coffee and they're like, no way, that is not you. I'm like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, I just completely, and I was always thin, like, so I never thought I'd
Because
gain
you're
weight.
tall. You're like
Yeah,
six
and so I'm
five.
about no, I'm just about 6'3". I carried it well in my clothes, but if you this one picture I'll show you, it's bad. It got bad.
So you're in the dressing room trying to get the
Yeah,
pants on or
yeah,
whatever, and you're like,
yeah, and I'm like, "This is stupid."
yeah,
Like, what happened? This is not me.
yeah. It's funny all those triggers. I'm curious how you quit smoking too, because I when I first started F3, I was still actively using drugs right for like a
Mm.
month in there, and then when I quit using, I still would smoke. I remember lighting up a Newport 100 on my way to cafeteria. That's right.
I just
It's a special guy that smokes it.
dude, I just
Was it
one
cold turkey?
day, I just no, I did the vape thing, and I
Yeah.
still do the nicotine pouches,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I was just kinda, like, over it.
Mm.
And thank God I was because I didn't think I'd ever stop, like,
Yeah.
because I actually liked smoking,
Yeah.
you know? And then you get older. So I was like 40, when am I, 47? I was like 44, 43,
Mm.
and I'm like, I feel like crap. Um, and that's when I was like, I was up to almost 230.
Oh,
And so I was like, I just feel like straight trash. And I was like, I'm kind of just over it.
yeah.
And so that's kind of what happened. I was just done.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. I look back now and I'm like, man, and you see people smoking now, and you're sort of like my
Right.
mom is still a smoker, and she smokes in her house playing online
Yeah.
casino games, and
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I guess talk to me like when you look at your overall health, how do you like right now compared to
Yeah.
other phases of life for you?
I feel great. I'm probably, I'd say, I would say I'm probably one of the fittest I've been like in my life, really, right now. Like
Wow.
I'm finally like 100%. I've been through injuries. Like with F3, like it's
Mm.
been a challenge because I mean, I came in all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came
Yeah.
in all in. And like you think you're still 23
Right.
and like your body is still that 23-year-old that just can recover.
Right.
Well, in the last couple of years, I realized that's not true. So I mean, literally, this is the first time I've been like 100% almost a year, and I'm talking like within the last month.
Okay.
So, but I never like fell off completely. Like I'd have to like, like anybody who gets injured, take a break from running. Like But I'd still show up and do what I could, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel really good. I feel good.
Did you start the like pre-running and Murphs and all that stuff right away too? Because or it would have
No,
been
no. I knew I was going to,
mhm.
but I don't remember I know my first pre-run was with Chippendale.
Okay.
Um, but I would say probably 6 months in,
Mhm.
and then I started. And yeah, I was like, even the military was always a good runner, but
Yeah.
is different. And I remember one specific pre-run. I think it was my second pre-run, is I did a run, and I remember wait time was there, and I was dying. Like, it's kind of hilly, that route,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like I literally had to stop. And like for me, I'm a very competitive person.
Right.
So like I remember I was telling the guys, I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not like I'm not like this. And they're like, we don't care. They're like,
Right.
we don't care. Like, if it was nice, but yeah, so probably 6 months in, and yeah, pretty. And I did a little bit here and there, but then I remember the pre-run challenge. Oh, because then I got hurt. I had a stress fracture
Like in your
in my shin,
anus?
lower shin.
Oh wow.
So I couldn't run. But then the pre-run challenge of January of 24 is I told myself I was back, like I was getting bad. I was like, okay, I'm starting now. And
Yeah.
I've kind of been doing it ever since. So yeah.
It it's so amazing, like you're saying, right? You get into this group and there's all these activities, and then you're sort of like
Yeah.
mentally you're like, "Well, I can do all the things
Right.
that everybody else is doing." And
Yeah.
how much weight did you lose then altogether?
Since so it's 24, 20, it was January. So let's say I was about 230, and now I'm like 193.
Wow. And you lift too, right? So
Yeah, I
you put
lift
on
too.
some
Yeah.
muscle.
So I do a combination, and that's another thing I've learned through the last couple of years is trying to find that even if I was just going too much.
Yeah.
And so I think I've found a good like rhythm
Yeah.
of 3 times a week of lifting instead of doubled every single day.
Right.
It's just too much. Um, I'm getting old.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I've found an even thing with that. So yeah.
Well, so I turned 40 this December, so I'm curious, like recovery wise, what are some of the things
40.
that you
I
have
wish I was
found?
40.
What have you found that's helpful? Like, are you doing yoga, stretching, cold plunge?
Yeah, but I was doing all that before. Really, it's just kind of like listening to your body more, like
Hmm.
not thinking like, because I was like I said, I'm competitive. So like I'm watching when I first started, I'm watching all these guys like Kickstand, like Escobar Grizz, Proud, like all those guys were like, I'm like killing it, like running. I'm like, well, I'm gonna kill it. So now I'm coming into this season 100% being like, no, just do this pace.
Yeah.
I don't need to go fast
Yeah.
because my goal is just to run.
Right.
I'm not racing anybody.
Right.
Obviously sometimes you go fast, but for the majority, I just need to just have fun. Like
Hmm.
I had fun before, but just dial it back and take it easy. Just get those miles in, no matter what time it is. Move.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because we try to emphasize you versus you,
Yeah.
but for the guys like us that are competitive,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I get that, but
Yeah.
I really want to be me
Yeah.
versus whoever's
Yeah. It's just a
faster.
mindset change,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, because even like for myself, like I'm just hard on myself. Like I've always wanted to do better.
Yeah.
You could do that like today, pre-run 4 miles. You're still getting better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to go balls out all the time.
Yeah. I wonder if like for me, SkyQ is sort of using my kids to slow me down a
Yeah.
little bit. But I look at like when I first started F3, I was like, I think that the second year I ran like 2,500 miles in the
Oh,
year, which was like
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And and now I'm like, okay, my goal is 1,000. If I can get 1,000 miles in the year, But it seems like, and I've got 2 more kids now than I did when I started, but,
Yeah.
I don't know, like this morning I went for a walk and just felt like a total,
Yeah. You just
like,
gotta
but
show yourself grace.
that's
That's
what I
about
can
it.
do. Yeah. Oh man, it's tough. What about diet? Have you done anything like Queen service or any of those
Uh,
things?
I never did that, but for me, it's just eat good. Let's say like 70% of the time.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I try to like
Yeah.
eat decent,
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
the weekends if you're go out to eat, whatever. But so I'm not real strict on that. I just try to eat
Yeah. Yeah.
throughout the week.
Yeah. I'm trying to get back into intermittent fasting, which was it's just a good routine,
Yeah.
and I think it's hard though because when I work at home, I totally eat
Right.
based off of like if I have a stressful meeting, then I'm like right afterwards in the pantry, like getting
I thought about that intermittent fasting, but for me it's like I kind of need my energy. Like
yeah,
I need like that, especially if
yep,
say I'm running in the morning and then I'm lifting in the afternoon. Like I kind of
yeah. I
eat something.
I noticed the other day I had so Speed Bump and I were running at Catalyst, and we happened to do an early. We did like a pre run, and then a pre run, and
Okay.
then we're like during the actual run, we're like, I think we could get a half in. So we ran a half, and that morning I definitely ate breakfast because it was, I don't know, going into your day
I
after.
think I talked to him the next day.
Yeah,
You guys did that, yeah.
yeah. Well, the other thing I'm curious, so you grew up? Did you grow up in Elkhorn?
I grew up in Elkhorn, yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
so when you like started coming to the workouts,
Mhm.
you had Flavor Saver
And McCracken.
and McCracken.
Yeah.
Did you know other guys when you showed up,
No,
or okay?
nobody.
So how'd you start building relationships, or what was that like?
Just coffee, really. I mean, I bet, a little over 2 years, I've probably missed coffee twice. I always go to coffee. Yeah, just during the beat downs, just I've always been pretty easy talking to people. But yeah, just coffee and spending time with the guys after work beat downs and stuff. Just being open, just talking and getting to know each other.
Did you find like were you striking up the conversation, asking questions first, or were guys sort of because you were new, they were trying to get to know you, or
Probably both.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say both.
And I'm curious because you say that like it's so easy, but there are I think a fair number of like
Yeah.
more reserved or introverted guys.
Mhm.
Like, have you always been that way? You
Yeah,
always have just sort of been outgoing.
pretty much.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
think? Why do you think that is? Is that how your parents?
Yeah, my dad's kinda the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just kinda always been like that. It's never
Yeah.
been a real issue for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah, it works in your favor. What about so when we think about like fellowship, and I think most guys say like coffee and
Mhm.
and pre-running, right? Because you get
Mhm.
some good conversation in there. Um, have you had a chance to do like shield lock or any of that sort of stuff, or like Q source? Is that something you've gotten into?
I haven't done a whole lot of Q source stuff just by just where I go, like when I
Hmm.
post. But shield lock, like obviously everyone's in a bunch of
Yeah.
text threads. And I mean I have one that's small, I have a couple that are smaller. And so I mean I guess that'd be a shield lock.
Kind of, yeah,
Or yeah,
yeah,
kinda. It's kinda hard with the whole
yeah,
term and like it probably means something different to other people or whatnot.
yeah,
But yeah, I have a couple smaller text threads that, we say, where are you going?
yeah,
What are you doing? We running, all which has been like I tell these guys like huge for me because like if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be there.
right.
Like period.
Accountability.
Unless something happens.
Mm.
If I say pre-run 4:45, I'm gonna be there, I will be there.
Yeah,
Um, and that's been huge, like, especially with the pre stuff
yeah,
is, having guys that will show up
yeah.
and do it with you.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, there's some built-in accountability there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? Like I think you get on these groups that are like accountability, for workouts, and then, occasionally you'll have like maybe there's a group where you're talking about other stuff, family stuff, or and I think it's interesting because I've talked to Dread and Dark Helmet about this, but it's like how formal do you need to make it for it to be effective? And
Right.
it kind of just
I
depends
think it's
where
like
you're at.
organic, like
Yeah.
it'll just happen. Like
Yeah.
it can be as like just accountability for workout.
Yeah.
But I think it'll grow with time if people want it to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just organically done.
Oh.
What I think.
Some intentionality there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other kind of when we think about fellowship, the other thing we like to ask guys about is the other. So, like the Q source talks about the concentrica. I don't know if you're familiar with that, right? But it's like sort of where you're, relationships based on proximity. So you've got your M or your wife in the middle, then your kids, and shield lock, whetstone, and then sort of work. But have you noticed being in F3 has that impacted any of those other
Oh
key
yeah. Like
relationships? Or
I mean, yeah, I've made really good friends like that I didn't have 2 years ago.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
yeah, you go to work, you go home.
yeah,
And maybe if you play a sport, usually that's with work guys.
yeah, yeah,
But no, yeah, it's been really great. Like meeting different guys and having that connection and those different, if I know like plenty of dudes that if I have something going on,
yeah,
that they'll be there,
yeah,
you know? And that's kind of like the same thing, what I said before with like having that military background. You had that,
yeah,
Now, a lot of guys don't have that. Like they just go to work and have their family. They don't have anybody. I mean, only my brother was the one I talked to before. I mean, I still do. Like, he's
yeah.
still like my number one. But
Has he come out to F3?
yeah, he did one time. Yeah, he's coming. My daughter gets married in a couple weeks, so
Okay.
they'll be here. But yeah, he is he's chicken wire.
Oh, chicken barb.
But
Nice.
yeah, he's a stud.
So your younger brother?
Yeah, he's 4 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Colorado.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, so before it was just like my brother.
Yeah.
And he lives in Colorado.
Yeah.
So it's been great to get closer to guys in F3 and do stuff. We do stuff outside F3,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You've done like the happy hours stuff, or what?
I've done
sort
the
of other
happy
secondary
hour a
stuff?
few times, but more just outside of F3
Yeah.
function or whatever you
Just
would call it.
hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. There's a book out there called Band of Brothers. It talks about like, finding those couple guys that really become part of your life. Not that guys in F3 aren't, but there is sort of like that next level, right? Where you're like, hey, let's get together for lunch, whatever inside of that. I would be curious. I remember when your son-in-law or future son-in-law.
Oh yeah.
What was that like? Sort of going through that, because my girls are younger, so I'm like, any advice
Yes.
there?
So I have an older son and 3 girls.
Okay.
And my oldest girl is about to get married. When they find a dude that's a good guy and you like him,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot easier. Now when it all comes down in a couple of weeks, I'll be a mess.
Yeah.
But as far as that, it's been pretty
That's
easy.
good. Did you make him come to an F3 workout?
I've tried.
Yeah.
He has to go to work early,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it doesn't really work with his schedule. And
Okay.
they live in Bennington, but maybe I can get him on Saturday sometime.
Yeah. Heck
So
yeah.
no, but I've definitely asked him. But
Yeah.
he leaves work early, and so yeah, it doesn't really work that well.
Okay. That's all right. My oldest daughter's only 9, but I've got her pretty much dialed in where she knows that I'm gonna make her future boyfriends, or definitely anybody that's proposing to her is gonna need to come to a workout first.
Yeah.
So we'll see how old I am by that time.
Yeah.
Make them do a burpee challenge.
Yeah, you got a while.
Yeah.
You got a while.
Yeah. What so how old are your other girls?
Nick is 27. He'll be 27.
Okay.
Taylor just turned 24. Janessa's 21, and Ella is 15.
Okay.
She's going to be a sophomore at Millard West.
Okay. So you've got you've got some some range there.
Yeah.
But all older, all driving, I guess. Is your 15-year-old driving?
Well, we've told her, we're trying to get her to study for the learner's permit, but that's been a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so soon she will be driving.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. It's interesting because I think parenting, just like being a good dad, is like it's a skill that we, I kind of watch or hear other guys COTs, or you'll be running talking to a guy and you hear like how they approach a certain situation. And I know I'm trying to pick up what I can. Any, I don't know, parenting advice, or would you
for driving or what?
for anything,
Oh.
anything that you've learned along the way?
Oh, geez. Patience.
Okay.
Try to lead with kindness, love, and not yelling.
Yeah.
And if you do yell, which we all do,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you come back and talk to him about it.
Yeah. Apologize.
Apologize. Yeah. Don't do it out of anger.
Yeah.
But patience is number one. You gotta have patience.
That's really good advice. Yeah. I struggle because if I don't get a workout, then my fuse is so much shorter. And yeah, there's some moments where I'm getting really good at asking for forgiveness, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what,
It's important. Hey,
yeah.
that's important.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'm learning. I just need to get outside and do something physical, which is why the walking thing is kind of, that's what
makes a difference.
Yeah. What, as you think about sort of the fellowship piece, anything else that you've sort of noticed? I guess a specific question I would have, like, we hear a lot about, and I think I heard Wait Time refer to like deaths of despair, right? So like men that are, maybe lonely, and so then you see like suicide and drug addiction and all of this stuff. But do you feel like for you has F3 sort of really helped, or maybe you weren't feeling lonely before, but just talk us through how do you feel about that sort of topic?
Well, I think if you are in that situation, I mean, I think if you put yourself out there in F3 and you build those relationships,
Mm-hmm.
you always have someone that you can talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have to make that step. And kind of like the thing you were saying about being outgoing, is that easy or whatever? Obviously it's not for some people, but I think it's about putting yourself out there
Mm-hmm.
and just making that conversation. I know it's hard, but even just showing up, even if you're quiet, you'll see that these guys are not quiet dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll talk to you, and then just like making that effort to make some kind of, I mean, there's so many guys, so many different personalities
Yeah.
and walks of life. That's the one thing I've noticed about F3 is just weird to me, is like you have all these dudes, you got lawyers, you got doctors, you got all this range of guys, and at 5:30 in the morning, none of it matters.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, if you're F3, it's definitely gives you that outlet to have guys to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going through whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely a real good thing.
Yeah.
And if for me too, like I know I have someone I could talk to if I need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard
without judgment.
Yeah, that's a key factor there too, right? I know that was a concern I had when I was coming clean, in my early days, and then start learning like, oh, like I can tell people what's going on, and they're like, how can I help?
Right.
How can I support? Or or I've been through that too. It's funny how many times I hear guys say me too.
Yep.
And just that validation of like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. Like, and I'm not the first one going through this is super helpful. But one of the F3 Nation board guys that was just here was saying they have a workout in Charlotte where there's like literally like a janitor and a billionaire work out together.
So awesome.
They work out, but the sort of like those definitions or status, like it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Like it doesn't change anything. And
so funny.
they get to lead each other.
I don't know why it's so funny to me, but I just think it's weird. It's great.
Yeah. It's just different than how society like wants us to be organized, and so in F3 we just break down the barrier, which is cool.
Liberty Core Real Estate is your homegrown real estate broker. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, whether personal or investment, Armando, aka Brian, and Megan Michaels Company is ready to serve you. With Command Center in Old Town Elkhorn and agents all throughout the metro, they are more than ready to guide and serve you in your next real estate endeavor. Whether your next move needs to happen now or in 5 years, call or text Armando at 402-770-2165 to get your questions answered. And a special offer for F3 Nation PAX members, Liberty Core will donate $250 to your sponsor of choosing for every closed transaction. Stop looking, start finding today with Liberty Core Real Estate.
Well, so you got fitness, fellowship, and faith. So talk us through, like, what's been your journey from a third F or a faith perspective?
Yeah, I grew up in the church. I mean, it was a big part of my life. All the way through high school. I mean, the whole youth group, all the things. So faith's always been a big thing in my life. Going through the military, you know, you get away from home. Like a lot of people or stay at home, and it's kind of like nothing really changes that much, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, like leaving and being gone for 10 years, you see a lot of things. You meet a lot of different people. I think my faith is different than it was when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like religion. I think, I mean, it does get a bad rap, but I think it's more relational, like with Jesus. So it's been kind of an ongoing thing. You know, you think when you're 47, you might have things figured out a little bit,
Yeah.
but you don't.
You don't.
And I
Yeah.
remember my dad like saying that kind of stuff, and it's like, geez, weird. But so yeah, it's a little different, but it's always been important to me. But yeah, it's a figuring it out, you know. Still,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I don't want to be the person that judges people. I never have. Try not to. But I don't. Main thing is I just want to love people,
Mm-hmm.
care for people, try to be a good example. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now with it. Like,
Yeah. Do you guys go to church at all? Or?
I was going, and then I haven't been for a while. But yeah, it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I love the honesty there. I think, and that's also the beauty of F3, right? Like, not just people with different like job titles, but just people at different phases of
Right.
of their spiritual journey too. You know, I think I'll never forget, and maybe I've told you this before, but I remember in NA when I first started going to those meetings, there was a guy. 'Cause I think the definition from 12-step programs to like a higher power
Right.
is similar to like what
Yeah.
F3 calls it, and I'll never forget this guy whose higher power was like this little gemstone like rock thing. And it
Wow.
was sort of like,
A lot of meaning there.
if that works for you, who am I to judge? But he, it was just like an interesting kind of eye-opening thing. And I think
Yeah.
F3 has continued to just help me have more respect for the fact that it is such a journey. Like,
Yeah.
I find my faith just every day, being challenged and being, and I think growing. But the religion piece is interesting. I do feel like we hear a lot of guys that, for one reason or another, like the church was not doing what the Bible
Right.
that it should be, and that
Yeah.
just kind of rubs us the wrong way, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think, you know, I don't say I grew up like in this legalistic, but in a way it was like
yeah,
legalistic. Like it's about what you're doing.
mm-hmm,
Like you gotta like earn your salvation.
yeah,
And you don't really know any different when you're 16 years old.
yeah,
You're just kind of, this is what I grew up with.
yeah,
But then when you see the world and like, see all these different people,
mm-hmm,
it changes your perspective, and like you kind of like think, wait, and then you just like it's not about like works.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, It's,
Yeah.
like you say, it's a process, and
Yeah.
everyone's different, and yeah.
How have you processed that with your kids? I'm curious.
I haven't done very well. Um, that's like I said. I mean, even with my kids being older, and the main thing for me is just to love them the best I can.
Yeah.
That's kind of, well, that'll take you where you need to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm realizing the hardest part is like the same, like if I follow Jesus, right? And so like if he's sort of my father,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also my kids'
Right.
father, and
Yeah.
so sometimes I think like he goes through me to get to them, but that's not really how it works. And so like letting God's plan carry out in their lives, and it's like you said,
Yeah.
love them, pray for them, be a good example, right?
Right.
It's well, it's interesting. My 9-year-old she's in a Christian school now, and so she's developing some of those, like, and she's a rule follower. So she's looking for the rules
Oh, right.
and
Yeah.
developing some of that legalistic
Yeah.
kind of like mindset. And so we're trying to like
Right.
continue to remind her, like, no, it's not. You're not earning this, right? It's
Yeah.
not like do the checklist and then you get to go to heaven when you die. It's
Right.
yeah, it's tough. What I would be curious, and I know another thing that I appreciate and remember when that tornado came through. You and a bunch of guys showed up
Yeah.
over to Quail Run out here to help clean up. So
Yeah.
I know you like to serve the community, but have you done any of the F3 stuff, or how else do you stay involved there?
I haven't. I want to, but I really don't have a great excuse.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of guys would be like, my kids and this, and I'm like, I don't have that excuse.
Right.
We camp a lot, so
Oh.
like, we're not around a whole lot, like for weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely, I want to, my youngest daughter, I want to bring her like to one of the Heartland
Hope.
yeah,
Yeah.
Heartland Hope
Yeah.
things, or even just like any one of those things, like the paint. I know because she's the age now where you can pretty much
Can
go
go.
to everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't like took advantage of those. And that's, I mean, that's on me.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I plan on it and I want to.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing it.
Well, talk me through that, because I feel like when that tornado, when there was the need, right? You
Yeah.
sort of dropped everything and.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm always down for it. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, like just planning it out better, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love to help people, you know, it's not like
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. It's just sometimes you just don't want to do it on the side.
Yeah. The funniest part was, so I didn't realize you were from Elkhorn, or that you knew, but you know the urban. So the funniest thing is like, you guys showed up in a truck, and the next thing I know, you're driving one of the trucks that's owned by Quail, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, and he's like, oh, I just told Dan I was gonna, man,
that was fun.
That place was a mess. They got it. It's in pretty good shape now. Well, I love it, and it is hard, I think, because there's all these different events, and it's like, how do you schedule that? Right. Or I think well, maybe that's something you'll get into this next year. Try to.
Yeah, for sure.
The other piece, so when we think about F3, right, it's our mission is to invigorate male community leadership. You've been obviously in some leadership positions, and would love to hear. We try to give guys opportunity, like with their VQ. I don't know if you remember your VQ.
Oh yeah,
what that was like. But
it was a downpour.
Was it?
They canceled some of the workouts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. So it was funny how it happened. I was actually on the way to the camper, and I think Kickstand and Grizz, there was a happy hour, I think, back here.
Oh, okay.
I get this text saying, and I'd only been in F3 like not very long, like maybe 6 weeks, maybe.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, you're ready. Your VQ is this day, whatever, fancy feast.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, okay.
Nice.
So yeah, so it was literally a stinking downpour, lightning, all the things. And so Light Bright was the thank you there at the time. So I pull up. I'm like, are we doing this? I think it was July.
Okay.
And he's like, we'll see. Cause like I said, lightning and just, I mean, downpour.
Yeah.
It was warm out though. But,
Mhm.
and he's like, we'll see who shows up. And I think there was guys like showed up at the last, like, there was like 20 some guys showed
Yeah.
up, which I was like,
That's a lot.
yeah, I was like,
Down.
that's awesome with the weather
Yeah.
because they were literally canceling other sites. And, um, yeah, it was just a beat down. We just did it in the downpour in the parking lot. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it was cool. We got it done.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, but that was at Mission Forge site queue. Yeah.
Well, talk me through. I would be curious. Do you feel like that BQ experience, like, was it pretty easy for you, or do you feel what do you feel like you learned or
I
took
was
away from that?
nervous, a little bit. Like I, I should have planned a little better for the beginning,
Oh, the intro.
the intro and everything, because you think you like know until then you're got to do it,
Yeah.
you know. So I know I fumbled that. I know that.
Mm,
Um, but I mean, other than like that, I wasn't really nervous like for the beatdown and stuff like that. It was just like the intro,
yeah.
and I'll have to say if you have VQ, prepare better than I did
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
intro.
Do the intro. Yeah. It'll happen on your phone, right?
Yeah, I had it on my phone. Yeah, I had it on the phone, but I was still trying to like do without the phone. That didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how simple that seems, but
Yeah,
when you're in the moment,
sure.
like, you definitely see
Yeah.
guys fumble, and I still will fumble sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. So bring your phone for
Bring your
sure.
phone. Yeah.
What and then the other leadership opportunity, right, is like being a site queue. So you
Mhm.
took over Mission Forge.
Yeah.
And remind me, were you the second or third site
Third.
queue? You were the third. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it
you
was.
took it from.
I took it from Kickstand and Chippendale,
Okay.
and Yogi and Escobar
Yep.
were the first
Yep.
ones. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
That was great. It went really fast,
Yeah.
like super fast.
Yep.
I was shocked how fast it went. No, it was great. Me and Anonymous. I had a blast. My favorite part about it was seeing guys, because you know you always got the staple
Yeah.
group of dudes that come to the site, and just watching dudes getting better.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite part is like
Mhm.
dudes grinding it out, you know, like just wanting to get better and showing up. And, you know, I would always encourage guys like that were rucking, like, all right, enough rucking,
Yeah.
let's run.
Yeah.
You know, we'll go whatever.
Talk me through your love of rucking. Since you brought it
Yeah.
up, I'm curious.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a huge fan of rucking, I hear.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of rocking, but
Yeah.
it serves its purpose.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against rucking.
Yeah.
I just think
Have you had to ruck through any of your injuries? That would be ironic. I would love that.
I'm sure I rucked a little bit, but when I remember I had the stress for I rode a bike.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
rode a bike every beat down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I just ride when everyone's running.
Does I'm sort of joking. I know we've talked about rucking and
Yeah.
and I'm with you. I agree. There's totally a purpose. I didn't really think I would ruck, right? Because it's like walking with a vest on, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, I like to run, so
Yeah.
but for guys that are coming into the group, but talk me through that like transition from rucking to running, and sort of the conversations you've had with guys, and maybe I don't know if you have any stories you could share about successful.
Yeah. I would say guys that you obviously build a relationship. You're not just gonna like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, that's the number one thing. Build a relationship with the guys,
Yeah.
the ruckers, and then just kind of like, hey, let's run.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try. And it's usually like, oh, I'm too slow, and I'm like, no, you're not. Like,
Right.
we'll run whatever you want to run.
Yeah.
We'll run a mile.
Mhm.
It's just for me. It's about challenging yourself.
Yeah.
And I know some people it's not possible. I get
Right.
that. But it's just get a little uncomfortable, see what you can do, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
And you'll be guarantee you're not gonna be like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't want to I hate that I did that. You're gonna be done and be like feel good about it.
Yeah.
Anytime you do something that makes you better, like it makes you feel good.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, I would just actually encourage them. I think one time who was it? He was boob tube, but he showed up for pre. And he had his vest, and I was like, "Just take it off."
Mhm.
And I know boob tube.
Yeah.
I'll just take it off. You're running.
Yeah.
He took it off and ran.
And he ran. And now,
Yeah.
now does he pre-run?
A little bit more than he did before.
Heck yeah.
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 So, it's just I just try to encourage and let them know you can do it. You can do it. There's
Yeah.
nothing magical about the guys that pre-run. I mean, just for me, like I remember when I started, I'd go to the maze a lot
Mm-hmm.
and I'd see the labyrinth guys
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "Oh, man, I don't know if I'll be able to do
Yeah.
like." And now that's if I could post on Thursday, that's where I go.
Right.
Like, it's just a matter if you want to put the work in, really. I
Mhm.
mean, that's in anything, relationships, like you said, like if you want to have relationships with guys, put the work in.
Yeah.
If you want to run or whatever fitness wise, put the work in.
Yeah.
You'll succeed.
Well, and I think especially in the F3 environment, I think it's safe to assume that if a guy is going so far to wake up that early and show
Oh,
up,
100%. Yeah.
like we can
Yeah.
push each other a little
Yep.
bit, right? And,
Right.
and maybe there's some injury or something that you're like, today
Right.
I got a
Yeah.
ruck, but I think like you said, build a relationship and
Mhm.
then like keep pushing each other to be better in all
Yeah.
three F's. I think that's been my favorite. And then you see guys come in like um like bullseye,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
and like eventually we'll get him
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
but it's through that sort of continuing to just sort of like encourage and say, hey, I'll run.
Yep.
I don't have to run fast, right?
Yep.
I'll run with you whatever pace you
Yeah.
want. I love that. It's such a cool just picture of leadership. But
Yeah, just this morning, Scandal, he's been killing it pre-running, and like this morning we were talking, and he never thought like you get this certain pace,
Mhm.
and like he told me this pace he did, I think at main stage last week, and dude, like I don't even know how much faster he's gotten over time. It just takes time, but
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you should be proud of that.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome,
Mhm.
because it's a big step,
Yeah.
to see that change, which is that consistent going up and running,
Yeah.
just that little bit,
Yep.
you'll get better.
Yeah, I love it. I think the other thing I'm curious as you're thinking about your time being site Q with Anonymous, did you know him before the site Q thing, or was that
Not really. I mean, we go to Mission Forge, but I mean, we'd obviously, I don't even remember if we'd done a ton of pre-running, but I mean, we got to know each other obviously once knew we were gonna uh, be site Qs together.
Yeah,
And like the last 2 weeks, we've done I'll text him or he texts me um, for the 4 mile pre-run on Monday mornings with
Yeah.
Mission Forge.
Yep.
But yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But we've got a great relationship. He's a great dude. Like we had a
Yeah.
blast. He was a Twitter guy.
Yeah,
Like
you're not into social media, right?
I mean, not really. Like the whole Twitter posting, it took me a while to figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
I didn't even have Twitter before.
Mm.
So Anonymous was the Twitter guy, and I was the guy who got the guys to,
Yeah.
and we did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
He was majority Twitter guy.
That's a good pairing. It's
Yeah.
so cool. I think sometimes when you see the co-Q, there's this assumption that like, oh, those guys are buddies and they said, let's do this together. But
Yeah.
I love that they just picked two great leaders
Yeah.
and said, hey, we're going to put you
Yeah, it worked out
together.
great. And it was we both had the same kind of story because Kickstand, gosh, he asked me like pretty quick, like, site Q, your next site Q. And then I think Anonymous was the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah.
What do you, I would be curious if you have, through when you think about that experience, any advice that you would give to guys that are maybe current site Qs or thinking about becoming a site Q? So,
Don't be scared of it. Just it's a great opportunity to lead
yeah.
your fellow dudes, and get to know guys better. And just encourage the pack. And I mean, it's just fun it's not like this big undertake,
Yeah.
It's not. It's just showing up, inviting guys, encouraging guys. I mean, that's really for me, that's what it's about, and that's all I really did. So yeah, it's fun, like to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think depending on how guys look at it, it's not necessarily it's a ton of responsibility, right? Because I mean, you're planting that flag every
Right.
week for whoever shows up, but it's not a ton of work unless you make it out.
Right. Yep.
It can be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
And something that just kind of popped into my head. So Mission Forge initially had a Smurf and a
Oh
mermaid.
yeah.
What happened to the Smurf? Is it still
Uh,
around a little bit?
It is now. Peel brought it back.
Peel brought it back.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Me and Anonymous were like, I remember we were at coffee one morning. We're like, are we going to do the Smurf? Or are we running?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're running.
We're running.
We're running.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so you said, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna do
So now it's kind of a hybrid, I guess, but it's officially, I think, a Smurf, I think.
Okay.
But I'm pre-running.
Yeah. It's so funny to me because we've got guys now. I don't know who started it, but like there's guys. It seems like everywhere I go, there's always a Smurf group and a
Yep.
free run group.
Yeah, it's kind of like just make all the sites, whatever,
Whatever,
Smurf,
yeah.
pre-run, whatever you want to
Yeah,
do.
if you got a guy that can do it. Well, I'm curious as you think about the other piece of leadership, right? Is obviously identifying your successors and talk us through that process. What was that like?
So yeah, we kind of had to make an adjustment because Shark Week and Boob Tube were like two peas in a pod. They were always at Mission Forge together. They've known each other from work, and just a great couple dudes, right? Like, so pretty quick, me and Anas were like, all right, you two, you want it? Take it.
Yeah.
And they said yes. And then Boob Tube is moving. So Peel, he's been a hammer since he started. And so we asked Peel and he was happy to do it. And but yeah, it's kind of like I said at Black Pass, we got kind of like yin and yang.
Yeah.
Like Peel's like this Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
And Shark Week's just this funny go lucky dude,
Yeah.
So it's worked out. They're already killing. They got that hammer.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's super cool. So they're already taking it beyond what me and Anonymous did. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Like just when you think like, okay, this thing's perfect. It's moving forward. We don't need to do anything. Then somebody adds something. And
Yeah.
Like,
It's great.
well, that's a really cool idea. So,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. That's kind of how that happened.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you just taking time to share your story. I think it's just so cool to hear some of the background. I want to sort of ask you if is there anything else maybe, and just thinking doesn't necessarily have to be F3, but just thinking life lessons or anything that you feel like you've learned over the years any wisdom you would impart on the guys that are listening.
I mean, I'll just keep it with the F3, kind of like a broken record, but I just encourage guys to put the effort out there to get to know guys. Cause I've seen just through my 2 years, kind of guys not come and, whether they're just uncomfortable or they don't, it's just hard for some guys.
Yeah.
I just don't give up, keep showing up, just do the work with the guys. You'll make that relationship or whatever, just put the effort out there. And, cause I mean, we're all out there for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Like you said, we don't get up at whatever time in the morning to, lollygag and not want to share time with these guys and have a good time and then, work out, get better, So yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is just put yourself out there. And yeah, you'll build some really awesome relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed a trend lately. There's some guys that maybe they've handed off a flag or got injured and they've sort of drifted away. And for whatever reason, they're going through sort of this mental struggle coming back. And so I think, just remembering like, just like if you're trying to run for the first time,
right?
Or if you're trying to come back to the group, and I've had this happen with each kid we've had. I take a month off and then you're sort of like, should I go? And every single time I'm reminded, the guys are just going to be excited to see you. Like they're not there's nobody's going to be like,
and everyone goes through those mental, even for me, me, or whatnot, unless it's almost like you don't want to be a burden being there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yep.
so everyone goes through those like thoughts of like, I'm not going to post because of this reason.
Yeah.
And then it's just the guys that bring you back being like, where you been? I had calls, texts from guys just reaching out, being like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
and that means a ton. And
Yeah.
it really shows that they care and it makes you want to come back, you
Yeah.
know? So, I mean, if you're going through a time now where you're like not feeling like posting, you know, we want you back,
Yeah.
you know,
Back, yeah.
and you won't regret it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Uh,
Love it. Well, where we'd like to end is really just getting in, and I already kind of know something I'll be praying for you about with your daughter's wedding
Yeah.
coming up here. But anything else kind of on that list, like where do you currently need support or encouragement when we see you out there? What's something we should sort of ask you about or check in with you?
right now, I'm in a good space. Ask me in 2 weeks. And I'll give you
Summertime,
something.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's summertime. It's warm out.
I'm gonna if you hear this in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna say bring a box of Kleenexes for this
Yeah,
guy.
for
Just
sure. I,
yeah.
funny story with that because our father-daughter dance, my daughter told me the song whenever, however long ago,
Yeah.
and it was something from when she was a little girl, and my parents wanted to hear it because they couldn't remember. I couldn't get 10 seconds, really couldn't get 10 seconds. Like I have to shut it off because I'm
Yeah.
about to freaking start
Yep,
bawling.
that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
Anytime we listen to the radio, if there's some song that comes on talking about
You think you're all
Correct.
tough, and you're like, oh, I'll be fine. And play 10 seconds of a song, and you're like, it's
yeah,
probably like a little girl.
I love it. Well, this has been great. And I just want to say thank you for being who
Thank you. Yeah.
are. You know, I think I've just always enjoyed our time together
Yeah.
and conversation. Appreciate you. We'll do a little Nemo,
Yep.
wrap us up. I'll start us off. Brandon Flehardy, 39, The Plague.
The Plague. Lana Wakefield, 47, Barbwire.
Barbwire. And I hear guys say respect, and I think they're just being mean, but I don't know where does that come from.
I don't remember who started that.
It's got to be like Grizz.
It was probably Grizz,
Yeah.
or it might have been Crap.
Because you got some gray in the beard or what?
It must be.
Yeah.
I think they're just hating.
They're just haters.
hating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there another call sign we could replace that with, or
I don't think so. But it's just there now.
yeah.
I mean, I have AB, Aunt
Yeah.
Barb.
Yeah.
That was from Grizz because he text auto correct. It said Aunt Barb. So everyone's like AB. Yeah, I got that. Of course, Barbwire.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Well, cool. Appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks.